you are at quarterback. So, Adam Schefter, will start with the Steelers, who signed Russell Wilson and traded for Justin Fields this offseason. Who's going to be the starting quarterback at Pittsburgh?
Well, Mike Tomlin himself has said that Russell Wilson has the pole position to become the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh, and that is the expectation. I'm sure Justin Fields will have a say about that in camp, and let's see how he shows up, learns the offense, and performs this summer in training camp. But the fact of the matter is, Mike Tomlin has gone out of his way to say that it is Russell Wilson's job to essentially lose. He gets first crack at keeping that job in Pittsburgh.
Moving along, Lakey.
So, okay. I think this is a pretty interesting conversation and a pretty interesting topic that I want to discuss. There's two things to look at this. When you're looking about what the Steelers should do, you got to look at it from a long-term perspective versus a short-term perspective. When you go out and get a Justin Fields, the idea is for a long-term perspective. If we want to say that Justin Fields failed in Chicago because of Chicago being Chicago, because of the OC, the weapons, whatever, the organization of just not being able to handle and develop quarterbacks, that's fine. Let's accept that as a true statement. If that's a true statement, then we are saying Justin Fields is a really good quarterback, so we just need to rework him. If that's the case, that means we have a lot to unpack and to undo for the last couple of years with Chicago. So if I were the Steelers and I evaluated Justin Fields and I say, hey, he's a really good quarterback and I think he's got great potential. I want him. He's actually a steal right now. Yes, we'll have to pick up his option and extend him for another year. Then if we want to actually sign him, we should be able to get him for pretty cheap, relatively speaking, if we think he's a great quarterback, because he hasn't played enough or done enough to be able to command a Jared Goff $200 plus $180 million guarantee contract. So it would be kind of like a home run. I mean, you'd get Justin Fields on probably like closer to like a Baker Mayfield deal, probably even less, quite honestly. All depends on, of course, when he plays and how much he balls out. So my logic would be is say, we're going to sit you, Justin Fields. We need to rework you. We have our new OC. You have your new offense now. You need to learn the lingo. We are going to have to break you down and rebuild you from the ground up. Quite frankly, we hate what Chicago did to you. We believe in you. They don't believe in you. They got rid of you. We love you. We want you to just learn and grow. Russ is going to start. He's going to finish the season. You are not going to play. Even if Russ goes 0-4, you are not going to play. No stress, no anxiety, no worry. This season, you are just going to learn and grow. You're going to mature. You're going to learn how to be a leader. You're going to learn the Pittsburgh Steelers culture. You're going to learn the fan base. You're going to learn the system. You're going to learn everything. And the new OC is going to drop so much knowledge on you that football is going to be, you're going to think that this is your first year playing football. And then that following year is when he starts. I would treat him practically like a rookie. Because again, you're looking for a long-term investment, not a get-quick-rich scheme with Justin Fields. That's what I would do personally. Because if you throw him into the fire now, the Steelers fan base is an intense fan base. Pittsburgh is an intense city from a football perspective. They want to win. Justin Fields would have pretty high expectations right out the gate. And if he struggles, it would be a continuation of the struggles of in Chicago. And then those issues would just compound. It would just continue to get worse and worse and worse. And I don't see how you would then be able to really bounce back from that and succeed from that. So I really just think that you trust that process and let Justin Fields know the expectations. Because the worst thing you can do, from my viewpoint, is let's say Russ goes 1-4 or something, 2-5, 2-6 or something. Now the fans are like, come on, Justin Fields, Justin Fields. If you didn't establish that he's going to sit this whole season, now Justin Fields has like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Am I playing? Am I not playing? What's going on? Oh, you know what? We're going to play Justin Fields at halftime. At the second half, Russ is playing terrible. He's thrown 2 interceptions and a fumble. We're going to throw Justin Fields in. He's got no first team reps. He wasn't, prepared for this. He's going up against, a tough defense of making up a team right now, whoever, the Packers, or the Jets, doesn't even matter. I don't know what their schedule is right now. I haven't looked at it. And then there you go. And then now you're setting Justin Fields up on his back foot. You're setting him up to fail. That's not what you are going to do. Most quarterbacks do not necessarily succeed in that circumstance of, we'll just throw quarterback in second half, let's go. Or, you know what? He's starting week 5. Let's do it. And it's just like, no, that's not how you set a player up to succeed, especially one who has been punched and beaten up like Justin Fields was in Chicago. So this way it's like, Justin Fields, we believe in you. We think you're great. We're going to rebuild you. Yes, you were sitting this season. That doesn't mean that we don't think you're good. It's just that we believe in you in the long term. And so that's why we are building you up. You're going to learn from Russell Wilson. We know he has kind of a weird reputation these days, but you can learn a lot from him. You can learn how to be a professional. You can learn and see his preparation. You didn't get that in Chicago as much, or when you did, you were too young to appreciate it because reportedly Nick Foles tried to help him out, as well as Andy Dalton, and that didn't work out as well. But now you hopefully have been humbled and you understand that you can learn a lot from these more seasoned veterans. And so there you go. I would really slow play it. That again, otherwise I don't know why you got Justin Fields, really, because were you really expecting just to grab Justin Fields and have him be a starter right off the bat and ball out? You don't have the offense in place for that. You don't have the offensive mind to do that. If you were a Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Andy Reid, Shane Steichen, any of these guys, you had Ben Johnson as your OC, then I could understand it. Then I could understand, hey, I'm going to work with him all offseason. We got this. Let's go. Then I could understand. But that's not what you have right now, okay? So you can win some games with Russ. You can be a team that's defensive-led, minimize the mistakes from Russell Wilson while you continue to develop Justin Fields, and then you deal with it later on. And no matter how bad or great things get, because listen, if Russell Wilson ends up balling out, then and he rewinds the clock back to the Seattle days, well, then maybe you don't need Russ. Then you don't need Justin Fields. Then that whole idea that I just said, you just kind of let go of because you're like, well, Russell Wilson is legit. We have a Super Bowl roster potentially. Like, let's go. Then you do that. And if Russ continues to not be so great, then all right, that's fine. Then you know Justin Fields is going to be your starter the next season. And that gives you clarity. That gives you understanding. Unless Justin Fields continues to not develop, right? And you can see that in practices and see that when in other moments. Then again, you plan accordingly. But I just think that you take this day by day. You have to look at it from a more long-term perspective than a short-term perspective. But I will say, I understand Mike Tomlin said, Russell Wilson is in pole position. I got news for you. Yeah, pole position doesn't mean that you finish in pole position. It doesn't mean you finish first. It just means you're starting the race in first place. Doesn't mean you're going to finish the race in first place. Oftentimes, you don't. So, I wouldn't hold his words, Mike Tomlin's words, I wouldn't hold his feet to the fire with regards to what he said, but I'm just looking at it for a more long-term perspective versus short-term. If the Steelers had like a bona fide win now Super Bowl roster where they were just, they were just Tampa Bay with Tom Brady, and they were just a Tom Brady away from winning, then you could actually make more of the argument that potentially a Justin Fields could be a greater spark, or if Russell Wilson was really struggling, that you could then throw Justin Fields in there because you have this win now roster, let's go. But I don't think that's where the Steelers are. If the Steelers want to become a Super Bowl worthy team within the next 2-3 years, then I think, again, you evaluate Justin Fields. You see what you can develop him into. You see if some of the issues really were Chicago-based. And if they were, then now you have a great quarterback come time 2025, and you're ready to go. He's still very young. He's healthy. He'll be ready to go. He'll be humbled. He has a whole year to sit back and learn. And I think that would make him a significantly better player in 2025 than if you just threw him right now in 2024. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Who would you rather have starting as your quarterback right now, Justin Fields or Russell Wilson? And if Justin Fields is the future, would you be okay with sitting him for a year? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.